stop because they have it all. Oakland Road, Spindale.
We'll see skies range between mostly sunny and partly cloudy around the area today as high pressure remains in control across the area. It should be warm with a southwesterly breeze and highs around 78 to 83. Tonight will stay a little muggy under fair to partly cloudy skies. Winds will be light with lows in the low to mid 60s. Then we'll see sun and fair weather clouds mixed around the area for Wednesday. A little warmer tomorrow and a bit more humid. Highs tomorrow around 81 to 86. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And I'm Lou Gillum in the Blue Room. That extended forecast, Thursday, sunshine. Highs around 85 degrees. Clear overnight. Lows around 65. Friday, sunshine. Highs around 85. Overnight lows around 70 degrees. Sunday, Saturday, sunshine. Highs around 85. Then Saturday night, showers start moving in with a low around 65 degrees. That rain stays with us. It's just scattered showers, pop-up showers here and there. Partly cloudy for Sunday and Monday, a little cooler. Highs only around 80 degrees. Overnight lows around 65 degrees for Sunday and Monday. 63 degrees right now, partly cloudy skies, 7 minutes past 7 o'clock. It's time now for our morning obituaries. Julian Juicy Reed Wellman, age 19, of Rutherfordton, died Tuesday at his home. A 2017 graduate of RS Central, he worked at Green Hill Store for 2 years. Most recently, job with Signature Collision. A celebration of Julian's life will be held at 1 o'clock today at the Lake Lure Baptist Church at 6837 US 6470 Highway in Lake Lure. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service, and burial will take place at the Piney Knob Baptist Church Cemetery at 1229 Piney Knob Road in Rutherfordton. In lieu of flowers, memorials may be made to the Make-A-Wish Foundation at 1131 Harding Place, Charlotte, North Carolina 28204. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory Services is in charge of the arrangements for Julian Juicy Reed Wellman. Francis Johnson Bailey, 85, of Columbus, died Saturday at the Ridge Rest Assisted Living in Columbus. She was a lifelong member of the Oak Springs Baptist Church, survived by her 2 nieces, also her 2 stepsons, Harold Bailey and Roger Bailey. The family will receive friends from 2 until 3 tomorrow at the Oak Springs Baptist Church prior to the service. Funeral services is at the Oak Springs Baptist Church beginning at 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Burial will be at the Oak Springs Baptist Church Cemetery. Matt Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for Francis Johnson Bailey. Ida Virginia Watkins Cobb of Cliffside, 93, died Friday at September the 14th at the Oakland Living Center. She was a lifelong resident of the Cliffside area, member of the Caroline United Methodist Church. A service to celebrate her life will be held at the Caroline United Methodist Church. This will be Saturday, October the 13th at 11 o'clock. There will be no formal visitation. In lieu of flowers, the family is asking that memorial contributions be made to the Caroline United Methodist Church Building Fund at Post Office Box 187, Caroline, North Carolina 28019, or to the Chase Corner Ministries at Post Office Box 327, Henrietta, North Carolina 28076. An online guest registry is available at www.harrelsonfuneralhome.com. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for Ida Virginia Watkins Cobb. These are our morning obituaries on WCAB. You can hear these and others that come in throughout the day at around 11:35, and then again at 5:08 this afternoon as part of the afternoon report.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren helped extend the Democrat hit job on Brett Kavanaugh. Pocahontas claims that after she watched the hearing featuring Dr. Christine Ballsy Ford, she thought, time's up, meaning time's up for men. She said that she saw a bunch of powerful men helping another powerful man achieve a higher position of power, and this did not sit well with Pocahontas. Pocahontas says it's time for women to take over Washington and fix the broken government. Above all, She said we need a woman on top. Quick aside, I assume some guys would agree with that, but I digress. Don't want to picture it. Anyway, the senator says she's worried down to her bones about what Donald Trump is doing to America. After the November 6 midterms, she's going to take a real hard look at deciding whether to run against him for president. Well, Pocahontas, why wait? If you are so sure we need a woman on top in the Oval Office, if you are so sure you can fix what's broken in Washington and save America from Trump, why not throw your tomahawk into the ring right now and announce, we are waiting. Actually, we can't wait. Please do it. Cyber criminals, cyber bad guys can attack your laptop, your tablet, your smartphone without you even knowing. Or they can steal your identity, and you may not realize it until it's too late. That's why LifeLock Identity Theft Protection now includes the power of Norton Security to help protect your identity and your devices. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to help detect a range of threats to your identity. And Norton Security protects against online threats like ransomware or malware. And if there is a problem, LifeLock with Norton has agents who will work to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor transactions at all businesses, but new LifeLock with Norton Security provides more detection and more protection against cyber threats. Go to LifeLock.com or call 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH for an additional 10% off your first year, plus a $25 Amazon gift card with annual enrollment. Terms apply.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing.
Al Jennings was one of 4 sons of Judge Jennings. When they were young, Al and his brothers impersonated U.S. Marshals, charging cattle drives to escort them through supposedly dangerous Indian country. All 4 of the boys studied for the bar and became lawyers. No matter what you think of lawyers, one can't say that the Jennings boys were typical. On October 7, 1894, because of courtroom differences, Al's brothers Ed and John instigated a confrontation with lawyer Temple Houston in a local saloon, the result of which both Ed and John were killed. Then on October 1, 1897, Al and Frank took a very short trip down the Outlaw Trail by robbing a Rock Island train. They netted about $300. This $300 had to be split between the 2 brothers and 3 other gang members. Shortly afterward, Al and Frank were caught. Frank got 7 years in prison and Al got 5. Working it out mathematically for Al, that's a grand total of $12 gain for each year in jail. But that's okay, because when Al got out of jail, he was readmitted to the bar and was able to add to his resume that he had empathy with the defendants because he knew how it felt to be an outlaw and spend some time in jail. As a result, he did quite well in Oklahoma City. Later, Al moved to California, where he became an author and produced films. Al always looked at least 20 years younger than his age, which was a good thing because he lived to be 97 years old. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
15 minutes past 7 o'clock, 63 degrees right now under partly cloudy skies, and it's time to start the call-around portion of the morning report. And on Tuesdays, we always talk to the sheriff. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Lou. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm good. Good to talk to you this morning.
It's good to talk to you also. What have you got to report this morning?
Lou, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 184 calls for service. There have been 15 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 233. Among those arrests, Annette Marie Blackwell, 39-year-old female from Edmond, South Carolina, was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor larceny and received a written promise to appear. Candace Alyssa Shea, 22-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply and received a $432.50 cash bond. Christopher Fred Hudson, a 56-year-old male of Boston, was charged with possession of Schedule 2 and 2 counts of domestic violence protective order. He received a $5,000 bond for the methamphetamine, but will see a district court judge for the domestic violence protective order violations. Joseph Bradford Walker, 29-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with driving while license revoked and failure to comply, received a $1,000 bond. Denise Arnold Shearer, 33-year-old male from Jacksonville, Florida, was charged with 2 counts of domestic violence protective order, harassing phone calls and communicating threats, received a $500 bond, and will also see a judge for the domestic violence protective order violations. Among the incidents, we had a break and enter in Larceny on Maple Creek Road in Ruston. An Ariens Orange 42-inch lawnmower was taken, as well as a Milwaukee leaf blower and a Milwaukee weed eater. Both of those were red in color. We had a break and enter in Larceny, 3rd Street in Mooresboro, where assorted meats and other frozen items were taken from a freezer. We had a break and enter in Hudley Road in Ruston, where someone broke into the basement window. Doesn't appear to be anything missing at this time. We had a loss of a motor vehicle reported from Pine Mountain Church Road in Ellenboro. It's a 2008 red Dodge Calver, valued at $8,000. Same was found wrecked on Old Business 74 yesterday morning. We had an illegal dumping on Cox Road, where someone had dumped construction materials behind an abandoned residence in that incident. And Lou, that's what we had to report today.
Well, we appreciate that. And, Sheriff, being on the radio, it's hard to tell people, show people things. You can't do it, but we'd like for you to take a peek out the window. I'd like to share that beautiful sunrise with you this morning. It's beautiful red outside. Sky's beautiful. Just take a peek outside and look at it.
Thank you for sharing, Lou. No doubt it is a beautiful day.
It is. You have a great one, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
At McCurry Deck Motors, you can browse a selection of vehicles that includes all of the top models in Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC lineups. The McCurry Deck Motors lineup of vehicles checks all the boxes, ensuring that they will have the perfect vehicle for any car shopper that visits their lot. Come visit and see what's in store for you and your family with the McCurry Deck quality reputation of fair deals and customer service. Try the Chevy. Find new roads with Chevy. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of Chevy, Buick, and GMC. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City.
Gregory's Original Restaurant in the Park Lane Plaza is the perfect dining choice of Rutherford County. Greg offers all your favorite dishes. Try their delicious subs, grinders, pasta, chicken, burgers, fresh garden salads, and the most delicious steaks served with mushroom gravy or peppers and onions. Be sure to call on Gregory's for all your catering needs at 287-2171. Check out the website for menus and event information, www.gregorysoriginal.com. Gregory's in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton. 19 minutes past 7 o'clock, and it's time to check in with those hard-working folks over at 911. We got Jessica on the phone. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. You just getting started up good?
Yes, ma'am.
Bless your heart. What you got to report this morning?
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 571 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 42 EMS calls, 19 for rescues. Law Enforcement Sheriff's Office responded to 184, Forest City to 83, Lake Lure to 6, Rutherford to 18, Spindale to 48. Other calls, Bostic responded to a vehicle accident, and Ellenboro responded to a vehicle accident. That's all we've got today.
Okay, Jessica, I hope you have a great day. I hope it's a quiet day for you, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton. 20 minutes past 7 o'clock. It's time to head to the SDO area. Check in with Ruby Taylor. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay.
Good. What you got to report this morning?
Nothing. Nothing except one birthday, and that's Matt Kennedy's having birthday today. Hope he has a nice day. Signs are in the breast today and going to the heart tomorrow. That's all I got, Lou.
Well, that's good to hear, Ruby. You have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay, you too.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, you can always tell a successful business by the company they keep. And that business I'm talking about is Southern Carpet and Hardwood Flooring. Since 1993, Gerald and Lynn Toney have set out to offer the best products at affordable prices and ensure their customers are satisfied. Their son Clayton joined the business when he was old enough to look over the display cases, and he has been impressing customers ever since. The company, Southern Carpet, keeps including some of the best: Bruce Hardwood, Appalachian Hardwood, Armstrong Vinyl, Shaw Carpet, and many more you'll recognize. Southern Carpet has the largest selection of hardwoods and laminates in the area. So check with them when you want something done to your floors, free estimates, and expert installation. Drop by to see them at 1512 West Main Street in Forest City. They're right across from North State Gas Company. Look them up on Facebook and check out their website at www.southerncarpet.net. And let's head up to Rumbling Bald. And Steve, I saw some of the pictures on the front of the newspaper. I guess that doesn't do much justice, though, does it?
No, that's just part of it. We have to. There's a lot more going on besides what we could see there. It's pretty significant. They've already done a lot in rounding up a lot of the dirt and or sand. And a lot of the debris. Town Lake Lure is going to help us get some of the debris. A lot of it's flooding debris from our old pavilion. Well, it wasn't that old. Our pavilion bridge, which was our walkway between the Wellness Center and the pavilion and beach area. It was a very necessary mode of transportation, and it's one of those things that you don't miss it until you don't have it.
Was it a drive-across bridge or a walk-across bridge?
It's a walk-across bridge. You could drive a golf cart across it. It's wide enough for that purpose, and folks did that a lot. I don't know where we're going to go with that. I'm sure they'll have to replace that. That's too. We've got to have transportation between the two places. But anyway, it's we'll get it done. I guess the good part is we're pretty much towards the end of our real busy season, so we can kind of assess the damage and pick up our pieces, and there's still a lot here that we're still open for business. Just a small portion that we're not. Just temporary closure on the cabana and the lake activities. Hopefully they'll have that cleaned up pretty soon. That pavilion walkway, that's going to be inconvenient for folks for a while, but we still got the beaches when we get the debris cleaned up, and hopefully we'll have some more boat tours and once they clean up the lake, and so there's very few activities overall. The biggest issue is the Bald Mountain Lake. The Bald Mountain Golf Course, and we're going to probably be closed for a while. We got to clean it up, and once we get that done, we can reopen the course. But we got the Apple Valley Golf Course in full swing, so we have some inconveniences, but we're moving along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. We'll be doing a lot of repair on some bridges and this, that, and the other, picking up all the debris, and they've already come a long ways in just one day. So I have a lot of confidence in those folks and getting it everything restored back to close to normal as possible real soon. So that's where we are. So it is what it is. So I got an announcement to make here. Don't forget, we are in October now, and the raffle for the Rutherford County Fire Rescue Association is going to be October 7th at 5 p.m. Tickets are $2 a piece, and you can buy your raffle tickets at any fire station in the county. And I'm sure there's 3 guns that they have for auction, so or for as part of the raffle. So you might get lucky and still make a good contribution to the cause. So, well, other than that, we're just gonna see what happens next. I think we can still do our car show next week. This week, I'll find out tomorrow in our meeting. But I don't see any major issues with our driving range. So our free car show open to the public is probably still going to go on this Saturday. I don't see why not. And it's a vintage car show, and in the past we've had up to 250 cars in that driving range, so it's a pretty big event. The European car show last week was a success. It wasn't ever meant to be a large number of cars. We had about 50 cars, but it was a start, and so we're looking to hopefully get the regional in here, and that'll be a real big event if we can do that. So,
there's one thing about it. You can tell somebody that loves the area that they live in and love where they work, because when something happens, you can tell how downhearted they are about it, and I can hear it in your heart how bad you feel about what happened this weekend.
Oh, yeah. A lot of folks out here impacted by all these things, and a lot of good folks out here, and they're asking for anything they can do to help in their way. So we're just all working together to get this done, and we're moving forward pretty well right now. The city's been stepping up to the plate big time, so we're thankful for the town of Lake Lord to come in and help us with this cleanup effort. So.
All righty, Steve. Well, like I said, be careful where you step, and look out for those little snakes. Them little boogers. They get washed up and show up. They get mad when they're get washed out.
I look down when I'm walking. I might get stung by from a hornet's nest, but I'm not going to get stung a bit by a snake. I don't have to.
Take care, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay.
All righty. Bye-bye.
At 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697.
29 minutes past 7 o'clock, and checking in Mount Vernon area and seeing what's going on there. What's up, Bob?
Well, good morning, Cousin Lou.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing good this morning.
I am.
Well, you're sounding good, so I believe you're going to be all right today.
Yeah, it's a little sleepy, but I'm going to wake in a little bit.
I guess it is dark when you go to work, ain't it?
Yeah, and you walk outside when the sun comes up and you feel like a vampire. You're like, bright light, no!
I know what you mean there, yeah. Well, we're up there with the fire department overnight. It's been pretty quiet there. I think we ain't one no wreck calls overnight, so been pretty quiet up here. And let's see, Oak Grove United Methodist Church is having a country bazaar coming up this coming Saturday, October the 6th, and they'll have a biscuit breakfast, and that starts at 7 a.m. until. They'll have crafts, gift baskets, homemade canned goods, and $1 donation on a quilt ticket. And also a barbecue supper. It starts at 4 p.m. and goes to 7:30 p.m. And things are going along good up here. Maybe it'll stay that way all day today with us up here, and going to have another summer day instead of a fall day, it looks like. So.
Yeah, that breeze Sunday felt so good. Got spoiled Sunday, and I was so hoping that was going to be the beginning of the fall weather. But it's going back in the 85 degrees. But it wasn't quite as humid yesterday, though. That helped a lot.
Oh yeah, it wasn't too bad there yesterday, but looked like they said the next few days are going to be sort of muggy there. So rest of the week. So, but. I was looking at the weather this morning. It said the 8 to 10 days outlook, we're going to be above normal temperature, so don't look like fall was in sight yet, but although the calendar says it is. But maybe that means you'll get more snow during the winter there or something there. You'll get your wish there.
Yeah, I kind of glanced up and looked at the TV, and I think if I could see it clearly, I believe it's Wyoming is getting snow, and Italy is getting snow.
Yeah, that cool front looked like dipped down in the Midwestern states there, but looked like it ain't going to reach us over here no time quick, but I guess if you're going to snow, you can see snow, you'll have to go to Montana or Wyoming once.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Lou, you take care and have a good day.
Well, so about time Angie and I said hello, and y'all be careful and have a good day today.
Well, you too, Lou, and tell your mama hello for us and everybody.
I will.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Are you looking to do some indoor work, like maybe a new bathroom, or maybe you want to add some new kitchen cabinets? Well, let me ask you a question. Did you know that Henson's has 2 outside sales reps that can get you started in the right direction with all your building needs? From remodels to new construction in all phases, Darren Hill and Tommy Harris have over 60 years of combined experience. From craftsmen temporary to rustic log homes, even horse stables, Darren and Tommy can help you build whatever you want to. Stop by and see them at Henson's, because they'll lead you in the right. We used to call them Henson's Timber. Well, they're not Henson's Timber anymore.
Yeah, it's getting better. I can get around on my walker pretty good now. Getting up and down is still a little bit hard, but that's okay. At least I didn't break anything. That was the good part.
Yeah. Hips break easily the older we get.
Mm-hmm. We just never know. And they never know when they're going to fall. It's so easy to do something like that. And there's not a thing you can do when it happens. I started out this morning at 64 degrees. How's our AM station coming? I'm really missing my radio station.
He's working on it. He called me at midnight Saturday night, and I had to come over here and open the station so he could get in here and get on the computer. But bless his heart, he's working. That lightning strike. It just, thank God it didn't mess up the FM too. It just.
Yeah, I wish I could get it for him. I can't get it here. But anyway, maybe you'll get back on one of these days. I hope.
Yeah, before Jim has a heart attack.
I'm sure he's aggravated about it.
Oh man, he worries me when he gets aggravated. He's one of these people, when he gets aggravated, he doesn't take it out on anybody. He keeps it inside, and you see the stress building up, and you look at him and you're like, if he don't let it go kick a tree, go take a ride, go do something. You know, get away from here. He's gonna blow gas. Yeah.
Holy. Well, I know it's awful for him, but we hope he'll get back on pretty soon. Let's see, I don't have any calls from the fire department, so I reckon they were quiet. That's a good thing. And I have no birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got birthdays for Wade Miller and Alyssa Sampson, so I hope they'll have a good day today. And First Fairview doesn't have anything today, and I don't have First Broad, so not too many celebrating, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day. In my announcements, the Royal Quartet will be having their 60th anniversary concert at Concord Baptist Church Thursday, October 4th, starting at 6:30 p.m. Special guests are In His Glory, Simple Faith, Rick Strickland, Land of the Sky Quartet, and pianist Chris Guffey. So a big night coming up over at Concord, and if you want to come early, they're having a hot dog supper starting at 5 p.m. And so far, that's all that's going to have. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
I was talking to one of the girls that sings with Simple Faith at the bank yesterday, and I asked her I found an old CD of the Royal Quartet, who the woman was who used to sing with them years ago before the daughter started singing. Was she related to anybody that you know?
I don't know that she was. I don't know.
I'd like to find out who she was. Anyway, she's very attractive, very beautiful woman. I don't know who she was though, but anyway.
It's been a long time, and they're really good.
Yeah, they are. See that picture? Put the pictures of that CD up beside of a newer CD. A lot of gray hair in there.
Oh yeah.
So have a good day. We'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
It's time for you to test drive the affordable, fuel-efficient Ford Fusion from Sisk Family Ford in Forest City. Family-owned Sisk Ford can put you into the car you want with a payment plan you can appreciate. If it's a truck you want, get the Ford truck that's breaking records in sales. Ask about why the sales department is being bragged on with each and every sale that they make. They love your business at Sisk Family Ford, and it shows. New and used automobiles and an award-winning service department makes Sisk Family Ford the choice for so many. Step up to Ford today. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
20 minutes before 8 o'clock at WCAB, and I think I'm talking to Brenda.
Hey, this is Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Well, that means that we're in Bostic at the drop-in.
That's right.
Audrey Allman, she's the manager of the store. And if that doesn't make any sense, it used to be Sammy's grocery store. That reminds some of folks who are just becoming fans of WCAB. Well, what have you got going on today, Audrey?
Well, this morning we have a mix and match back there on our sausage and liver mush biscuits. You can get 2 for $3. And if you want sausage, you can do a sausage and liver mush, or you can do 2 sausage or 2 liver mush for $3. And, we just like to encourage all the school kids to stop by, or people headed to work, stop by and pick up some breakfast this morning. And we also, in our meat market, we are running chicken breast on sale right now for $1.99. And then during lunch, we do have the stacked subs back there now, which we got the Philly cheesesteak, we got a ham sub, Italian meatball, grilled chicken, just practically any kind of sub anybody would want, so at a real good price. So we'd like to encourage everybody to stop by and pick up a sub and try those out too.
How about salads?
Yes, ma'am. They will do you a salad back there also at any given time that anybody would want one.
I love a good salad.
Yeah, oh yes. And if you don't have time to stand and wait, you can always call. Our phone number is 245-9053. Just call in advance, and they'll have it ready for them when they get here.
And, of course, there's always that delicious Major Lee's chicken.
Yes, ma'am. They have it starting, I'd say, around 11 o'clock every day and runs through closing at night. So, it's really great. It and the tater wedges are just really great.
Well, Audrey, y'all have a great day today.
All right, you do the same.
And we will talk to you Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Well, I found out who sang for the Royal Quartet. Her name was Louise Good. And with the last name Good, now I got another question. Is she related to me? Because my grandmother on my daddy's side was a Good. Do what? Well, oh, really? Okay, all right. That was Ray's wife, Louise Good. So now I got to see if Ray's related to me or not. We're going to check in with Brenda Kelly in just a second, and got a lot of news coming your way during the 8 o'clock hour. Andrew Tisdale will be here with the Edward D. Jones report. We'll also have the commish report coming up during the 8 o'clock hour. And we got Miss Brenda on the phone. Morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you on this terrific Tuesday morning?
I'm terrific on this Tuesday morning.
I hear you. That's good. Hope everything's going okay. I was going to ask you if you got to see that sunrise this morning, but you mentioned it first. That was beautiful.
Wasn't it, too?
Yeah, it was so red. But what's that saying? Red in morning, sailor take warning?
Yeah, red sky at night, sailor's delight.
And red in morning, sailor take warning.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably get a shower or two. But it's in the forecast, ain't it? So that'll be all right. Well, let's see. I've got 60 degrees on the front porch. Birthdays and anniversaries today. I've got Jeremy and Dana Moore, an anniversary, and Terry Honeycutt, a birthday. I can't even talk this morning. I don't have anything on Round Hill, so we hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And then ways of announcements. Thermal City United Methodist Church on Thermal City Road in Union Mills is going to have an all-you-can-eat spaghetti supper on Saturday, October the 6th from 4 p.m. until. They'll have spaghetti with homemade sauce, plain or mushroom, garlic bread, full salad bar, dessert, and drink. Adults, $8, children, $3, under age 5 eat free, and they'll have takeout plates available. And proceeds support the church. And then Union Mills Learning Center on Hudlow Road in Union Mills on Friday, October the 5th, 7 p.m., Randy Black. Meal beginning at 6 p.m., and the cost of that is $5, and that's pintos, potatoes, slaw, cornbread, dessert, and drink, and music begins at 7 p.m. Tip jar available for the band. And other than that, I don't have nothing, so it's just short, sweet, and quiet up here.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, and we like it like that.
Yeah, we like it like
that. At least we ain't got everything going on like I have up there where Steve's at running ball. That's whew.
I know. Bless her hearts, if they hadn't got bears messing up something, then it's the rain messing up something.
I'm telling you, that was just, I didn't have but a half inch of rain all weekend, and then you look and see what happened up there. It's just...
That was just a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. But I don't have nothing else going on that I know of, so...
All right, Brenda. Well, you have a good day today. You got to clean up the house today, or is this a...
No, I'm staying at home. I'm not feeling too good. I got a little bit of diverticulitis, so I'm just taking it easy.
Uh-oh, what'd you eat?
I ate a quarter pounder at McDonald's Sunday, and somebody asked me if it had sesame seeds on it. I said I didn't even look to see if it had sesame seeds or not. I'd just eat it.
Yep, sesame seeds on the bottom.
And I believe it does have sesame seeds.
Yep.
So...
But you can tell them that to put it on a regular bun. I found that out.
Well, I didn't think about it. I was with my daughter and the grandchildren after church, and they wanted to go to McDonald's, so that's where we went. And I said, well, get me a quarter pounder, and I didn't think about the bun.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it'll get better.
Yeah, it'll pass.
Oh, yeah, this too shall pass.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a good day.
You too, Brenda. We'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
Well, we'll check in with Luther in just a few minutes. Now, when you want some sound facts about hearing, go see Lisa Terry at Miracle Ear in Forest City. Millions of satisfied Miracle Ear customers worldwide, and there's no better or respected or well-known brand of hearing aids than Miracle Ear. Schedule your free, yes, I said free, hearing test by calling 828-368-4126. Now, you may want to ask about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0 with the advanced technology. The high-def sound quality adapts to your surroundings automatically, zeroes in on conversations while reducing distracting background noise. It prevents those embarrassing whistling noises that can occur sometimes. There's so many features that you will appreciate about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0. Ask Lisa Terry about it when you're ready for a positive change in your hearing. For our city office, 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102. Again, that number 828-368-4126. Or if you would rather go to the Shelby office, that's 1506 East Dixon Boulevard. And you can check them out on the web at www.miracle-ear-forestcitynorthcarolina.com. And they have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Get your birthdays and anniversaries called in, 287-3356. We're going to give away a dozen donuts from Granny B's. But first, we're going to check in with Luther this morning. Morning, Luther.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm just as sweet as I can be.
Oh, that's
doing
good.
Great.
That's good to hear.
Having a good time down here. Say, I wait on the sun to come up, see which one of us is going to be the brightest.
Well, we'll see.
Sun will shine further than I will.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fine as far as it does. But we're having a good day. Well, it's a nice day yesterday. It was a good day. See, part of we had 4 calls yesterday. Had 1 accident and 2 medical calls, 1 controlled burn. They're quiet this morning. Nothing going on this morning. Everything. People just getting their gas, their biscuit, and heading on out to work. Get another day in. Let's see. I want to remind everybody still have a revival going on out here at the old school out there. They're on Cherry Mountain Street. Going to be having big camp revival. They'll run through Friday night and have places have 2 camps this year, 1 for the children and 1 for the adults. So you can bring your children with you and come on out. And Saturday morning, 7 o'clock, down at Oak Grove Church, going to be having an annual country bazaar. That's everyone's invited down there. They're going to be having biscuit breakfast day. Get all kinds of good biscuits and coffee and jams and jellies and all that stuff. Just have a good time there. And they'll be having a soup sandwich night. And then they'll be having a barbecue dinner from 4 to 7:30 p.m. But all day long, they're going to be having all kinds of things. They have baked goods there. They're going to have country store items. They're going to have treasures from the past. And they're going to have crafts and yard sale items, a quill raffle, and probably have a lot of good conversation. And here may pick up a little gossip here and there. So everyone's about to come on down. This coming Saturday, starting at 7 o'clock. I know Grove United Methodist Church. And if you don't have any birthday today, then what's going on down here today? You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All righty, Luther. Have a good one. Be careful.
All right, take care now.
Bye-bye.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304.
Get all your deer season supplies at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. Cheryl deer corn, $7 for a 50-pound bag. Deer cob corn, $8 per bag. Deer apples, $9 a bag. Peanut deer mix, $12.99 for a 50-pound bag. And Farmer's Friend has a deer condo stand with legs for $17.21.98. For all your farming needs and supplies, let Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply be your go-to store. 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherford.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325.
Get ready for those hot summer months driving with a stop at RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue. The Express Inspection Station gets you back on the road and keeps you legal. Speedy Lube has 2 lanes to serve you, gets you in and out in no time, and vacuum your car while the oil is being changed, air conditioner checked, transmission flushed, wiper blades replaced if needed, even a top-of-the-line car wash, all at RS Speedy Lube and Inspection Station, Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Take care of that car and have a safe trip.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about.
Happy birthday.
Well, folks, celebrating birthdays today. Doug Cooper from Rutherford celebrating a birthday today. Louise Good, Garland Green, Max Tony celebrating a birthday today. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the original singers from what? I'm sorry, you gave me that a while ago, didn't you? I'm sorry. Let me start that one back over again. Doug Cooper from Rutherford celebrating a birthday today. Tommy Hawkins, he's 50 today, lives in Forest City. Wilson Griffin is 27. He works at ICC. Jeremy and Dana Moore celebrating a wedding. Don't look at me like that, Todd. Jeremy and Dana Moore celebrating a wedding anniversary today, and Terry Honeycutt celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to all these fine folks. And for those of you who didn't get yours called in, well, happy birthday, happy anniversary to you also. I've got a CD I'm going to give away during the 8 o'clock hour. A 14-year-old young lady named Emmy Sunshine is going to be performing at the Foundation Performing Arts Center. And I've got a CD going to give that away during the 8 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that. Going to give away those donuts in about 37, 36, 35, 34, 30. Our Daylight Donut winner this morning, Wilson Griffin. Wilson is 27, works at Isothermal Community College, so congratulations to him. News is next.
The judge has said through his lawyer that he has no recollection of the party where Ford testified the assault occurred. The FBI also questioned Kavanaugh's Yale classmate, Deborah Ramirez, who told the New Yorker late last month Kavanaugh thrust his penis in her face while they were both drunk at a college party.
Former classmate Chad Ludington, now an NC State history professor, says during their days at Yale that Kavanaugh was a frequent and heavy drinker. Ludington says he had to come forward out of what he calls civic duty.
I can unequivocally say that in denying the possibility that he ever blacked out from drinking and in downplaying the degree and frequency of his drinking, Brett has not told the truth.
Chapel Hill's police chief speaking publicly for the first time since the toppling of the Silent Sam statue. The chief, Chris Blue, says it's a position he agreed with then and one he agrees with now, that the statue had become a public safety threat.
Many people in our community and around our community are highly charged around the issue. We've seen that. I think the statue, it makes us less safe in our community.
Blue participated in a community conversation about the statue's future last night in Chapel Hill. You're listening to NCN News.
Fire Prevention Week is October 7th through the 13th, and you need to know how to prevent fires. This year, more than 100 people in North Carolina have died in fires. Many of those could have been prevented if they had followed 3 simple steps. Look, listen, and learn. Look for places in your home where a fire can start. Listen for the sound of the smoke alarm and know what to do when you hear it. Learn how to make a home escape plan. Remember, be aware, fires can happen anywhere. So this Fire Prevention Week, the North Carolina Department of Insurance encourages you to look, listen, and learn.
As our friends and neighbors try to recover from the devastation left by Florence, those who missed major damage are asking, how can I help? Over the coming days, weeks, and even months, your contributions will be most important. The Red Cross, Salvation Army, and other organizations have already mobilized and need your support. For more information, go to redcross.org and or salvationarmyusa.org. Thank you. Together, we can rebuild lives.
There's word from the U.S. Pacific Fleet that a Chinese destroyer this week came aggressively close to a U.S. Navy ship in the South China Sea, forcing it to maneuver to prevent a collision. CBS News military analyst Major Mike Lyons.
You just don't know what the Chinese have and what they do. You could have an accident that could light a tinderbox that could potentially set off an engagement there on the sea.
State lawmakers meet today for a special session of the General Assembly on disaster relief for Hurricane Florence. 28 of North Carolina's 100 counties are under a federal disaster declaration. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says there's going to be something extra in the paycheck of Amazon workers.
They will be paying a $15 minimum wage effective beginning this November. And this includes those associates who are full-time employees as well as those employed by temp agencies.
UNC System President Margaret Spellings launching the We Promise campaign to put programs that state lawmakers put into place 2 years ago into public view. Tuition at Elizabeth City State, UNC Pembroke, and Western Carolina now only $500 per semester. Spellings telling WREL.
College is often where you meet a spouse, want to settle down, and we want to keep our best and brightest right here in North Carolina.
That program showing early signs of success. Leaders in Charlotte say that they will have the Republican convention on the 24th through 27th of August in 2020. Democratic Mayor Vi Lyles.
It's because, one, we are a democratic nation, and so it just gets to be an opportunity for Charlotte to brag about being one of the cities that can host both the Republican and the Democratic convention.
The economic impact of the convention expected to be around $200 million. Tony Rixby.
24/7 WCAB is serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Learn more about us at www.wcab59.com. From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Thousands of Amazon workers are about to see a pay hike.
Starting on November 1st, every full-time, part-time, and seasonal employee of Amazon and its subsidiaries will make at least $15 an hour.
It's a great change for over 300,000 employees and their families just in time for the holiday season.
Senior VP Dave Clark says Amazon plans to lobby Congress for a national minimum wage above the current $7.25.
We also are hopeful other large employers choose to follow us and increase their minimum wages as well.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Several interviews are now done in the FBI investigation into sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. ABC Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas says so far they're mostly focused on the allegations made by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford.
ABC News confirming the agents have talked to the 4 key witnesses the Senate Republicans wanted interviewed. 3 of them, Ford says, attended the high school gathering where she says she was assaulted, and ABC News has learned they also spoke with Deborah Ramirez, who claims a drunken Kavanaugh exposed himself to her when they were classmates at Yale. something he has denied.
Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse tells ABC News he has concerns about Kavanaugh's truthfulness during his testimony.
I have very grave doubts at this point, but that's one of the reasons we so badly wanted an investigation, so we could get to the truth of that rather than have to deal with surmise or suspicion.
The death toll in Indonesia is now over 1,200 after 2 strong earthquakes within hours of each other last week and a tsunami. ABC's James Longman is in Jakarta.
The Red Cross telling us the bodies of at least 34 children at a Bible camp have been found in the rubble. Survivors crowding the airport to get on a flight out, others lining up for food, gas and water. Those necessities scarce, and desperation has turned to looting in some areas.
The FAA now investigating after a Pennsylvania state trooper helicopter flew low over rowdy tailgaters at a Penn State football game over the weekend. You're listening to ABC News.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where MyPillow comes in, and we're excited to announce the new 4-pack special. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special tab, and save 50% off the 4-pack, which includes 2 MyPillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Use promo code SKY at checkout or call 1-800-635-1825. That's 1-800-635-1825. Or go to MyPillow.com, click the 4-pack special tab, and use promo code SKY at checkout.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
The Supreme Court today will hear arguments over whether a man with dementia can be executed.
Vernon Madison has an IQ of 72, and his attorneys say several strokes have left him with memory loss, so much so that he doesn't even remember the crime he committed. Madison, who is 68, was sentenced to death for killing an Alabama police officer in 1985. Now the Supreme Court will weigh whether Alabama can execute Madison, or whether doing so would violate the Eighth Amendment's ban on cruel and unusual punishment. The Supreme Court has previously ruled that prisoners must have a rational understanding that they're about to be executed and why. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
More violence rocking the area along the Gaza-Israel border.
Gaza's health ministry says dozens of Palestinians were wounded, among them 37 by Israeli gunfire during a new border protest at the beach. Gazan fishing boats tried to break the maritime blockade but turned back after the Israeli Navy opened fire. The new violence comes after one of the largest and deadliest protests last Friday. 7 Palestinians, including 2 teenage boys, were killed in clashes with the Israeli army. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
The Nobel Prize in Physics is being shared by 3 people this year. One, an American, worked out a way to use lasers as microscopic tweezers. Another, Canadian Donna Strickland, also worked on lasers. She is the 3rd woman only to ever win the Nobel Prize for Physics. This is ABC News.
Results not typical. Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in personal or business taxes and you can't afford to pay? Get tax representation, the industry experts with negotiating with the IRS with an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call today and the IRS will be contacted the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call the tax representation hotline at 800-556-7089. 800-556-7089. That's 800-556-7089.
I'm Sherry Preston.
North Carolina Tractor Supply, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Rutherfordton, has some really great ideas this year. This could be the year for you to get that Massey Ferguson you've been wanting. Stop by today and see what Massey Ferguson and Phil Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply have for you. Check to see if you qualify for 0% financing. Today could be your day at North Carolina Tractor Supply, Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
100.9 FM, 590 AM, Rutherfordton. I'm Lou Gillum. Your forecast from beautiful downtown Whiteside Road. Partly cloudy today, highs around 85 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 65. Partly cloudy tomorrow, highs around 85. Overnight lows around 65. Thursday, sunshine, highs around 85. Overnight lows around 65. And Friday, highs around 85 degrees. Beautiful sunny skies. 6 minutes past 8 o'clock. 63 degrees and cloudy skies at 100.9 FM, 590 AM, Rutherfordton, North Carolina. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays we always get a visit from Andrew Tisdale. He's always got words of wisdom, what to do with your money at retirement, or, well, I'll let you tell, and then I'm going to ask you a question about about lottery stuff. You know, is that okay?
You can ask me whatever you need to ask. I'll make up something if I don't know it. Is that all right? Can you count on a bountiful investment harvest? A lot of people work very hard, and they're wanting to put things aside so that they can make it in the end. And we're officially in autumn, and this is the season when we reap what we've planted. So as an investor, what can you learn from those who work the land and bring in the harvest? Well, first, you need to plant good seeds by choosing investments designed to help meet your goals. If you're wanting to retire in 30 years, that's a lot different seeds you want to plant than if you're retiring in 5 years. If I want to get corn, I don't plant soybeans. Next, you need to nurture your crops by adding money to your existing investments over time. One of the biggest key builders of wealth is time. It's just patience and time. The larger your overall investment base, the more you can expand its growth potential. If I have $100,000 and I get a 6% return, that's $6,000. If I have $1 million and that's 6% return, that's $60,000. There's a big difference. I'm still getting the same return, but a lot more money. Also, just as agricultural workers plant a variety of crops, you also need to diversify your investments. If you only own one type of asset and a market downturn hits that asset class very hard, your portfolio is going to take a really big hit. So keep in mind, though diversification is very important, it don't protect against all losses, but it helps shield a lot of the loss. If I have everything planted in corn and some sort of beetle comes in and it wipes out all my corn and I don't have anything else, my crop's gone. So I diversify it out, what that beetle won't eat. And when it's time to bring in your harvest, that's when it's time to tap into your investments and support yourself during retirement. You want to stick with an appropriate withdrawal rate so you don't outlive your resources. If I have a certain amount of money and I take out 10-15% a year, I can't expect for it to last as long as if I only take out 4 or 5. Take good care of your investment harvest. It can help provide a very nice bushel of benefits.
And when it comes to retirement, we've been talking about retirement age, 59. What is the age now for retirement? Based on the state of North Carolina, is it 62 or 65 on age?
You know, really, in all honesty, here's the real issue. Retirement's not age, it's a number. It goes back to your harvest or your portfolio. What do I need to live? Now, when you get, certain people are born at a certain time can get Medicare and Social Security a little earlier than some people born at another. That's where a change is. But if you want to retire at 59, you got to calculate in health care cost. A lot different than you would calculate health care cost in when you're 65 and you can get Medicare. But it all goes back down to your harvest. How much do I have and how much do I need to generate off of that to be able to live like I want to live? It's not really an age, it's a number. Some people can do it at 59. Some people, it might be more beneficial for them to wait till they're 62 or 65. It's just more about the numbers.
Now I was reading an article, especially now since the Powerball and the Mega Millions is up as large as the numbers are. And there was, a few months ago, the lady who signed the back of her ticket didn't want anybody to know she had won, but it was too late. She signed the ticket, public knowledge then. Well, first thing they're telling you now to do is to get an attorney. They're telling you what to do if you win before you go to that lottery office. They need to come see you also, I'm sure.
No, that'd be more than welcome to come see me.
Now, what would you be? Should my lottery number come up this? Now, my first thought to do is I want to buy a house. I want to do that, but you're going to probably stop me from going and buying a house right off the bat and sitting down and saying, look, we need to look ahead to blah, blah, blah. What are we going to be working on?
Here is the biggest thing that happens when people come into large sums of money at one time.
A lot of times they lose it.
It's called impulse buying. I don't think that buying a house is a bad thing, but buying one just off the top, you might want to sit down and think and crunch the numbers, say, where do I need to go, what do I need to do? Because if I have $20 million and I can go buy this house for $15 million and I still have $5 million, I think, well, that's a great deal, but I'm not calculating in the improvements I want to make, the taxes I'm going to pay, and the taxes I'm going to owe on this big inheritance or the type of lottery ticket I win. It's always good to sit down. Don't make rash decisions. That's the key. Just sit down, go talk it through with someone. You know, when you talk things through, it actually uncovers some ideas that you really didn't think about. When you're in an emotional state, because if I won $20 million, I'd be really, really happy. I'm going to be really emotional. I would need time to digest it and talk to somebody about it.
They're also telling you to put the ticket up, lock it up in a safe place, and just sit down, take a breath, let it sink in first before you even go to the lottery office with that ticket. Because I guess it's so much of the impulse. What you said, impulse. It's
about, just take, even, I know maybe a lot of the listeners listen to Dave Ramsey, and I heard this blog, read it over again, and it was very good. I'm going to give him full credit for this because it was his. He says, if you really want to manage your money well, stay away from impulse buying. That moment of happiness is only going to last for a moment, and then it's going to just wreak havoc on your budget. Same thing, if I get a big inheritance, if I win the lottery, it is good to take time to settle down, regain your thoughts, and go about it wisely, because anybody can have 20 million and do very well, but you see the stats. A lot of people lose it real quick.
Yeah, let's say they have the show, let's say My Lottery Dream Home, where people take their money and buy a home. And then you've got another show, My Life After the Lottery, that went to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just good to decompress.
Yeah, decompress. Landry, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Are you going to be here?
No, I think Jim will, but...
Oh, okay.
But there'll be another...
I'll tell him hello.
Yeah, he'll do that.
It's good to see you.
You too. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service clings to the traditional while going beyond the traditional with newer innovations such as their website obituaries. Funeral director and owner Kent Dorsey, along with staff members Bob Billingsley, Randy Bostic, Michael Sursland, and Justin Moore, invite you to see their obituaries online at www.washburndorsey.com, along with the online guest book for each service. To access obituaries for Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service, go to www.washburndorsey.com.
The flu season will soon be upon us, and Smith Drugs of Forest City is ready to provide these immunizations at the drugstore at your convenience. We will bill your insurance, and one of our pharmacists can administer the vaccine to you Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Remember that a flu immunization is the best way to prevent getting the flu, in addition to washing hands, covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze, and staying home when you are sick. Prepare yourself and protect those around you with a flu immunization this year. Come see us at Smith Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street.
15 minutes past 8 o'clock. Congratulations to Wilson Griffin, 27 today, works at ICC. He's celebrating a birthday and was our Daylight Donuts winner this morning, winning that dozen donuts from Granny B's. Well, in news from our news sources from the Daily Courier, the Daily Courier is reporting jury selection begins this morning for the trial of a Bostic man accused of raping his ex-wife's daughter. Jeremy Morrow, 42, will be the first person tried in a 2-week trial term in the Rutherford County Courthouse. According to an affidavit submitted by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, Detective M.J. Sisk Jr., Morrow's accuser said he had asked her repeatedly to come to his house to pick up Christmas presents. When she did, on May 22, 2014, Morrow pressured her to drink liquor to, quote, help her with her cold. That's according to the affidavit. It said the accuser passed out and awoke later lying on her stomach with the suspect on top of her, quote from the report, either having sex with her or attempting to have sex with her. Her boyfriend picked her up from the suspect's house, and later that night, the accuser and her parents reported the incident and went to the Rutherford Regional Medical Center for a sexual assault examination, that according to the affidavit. Morrow was arrested on June 2nd, 2014. He was released the same day on a $200,000 secured bond under the conditions that he have no contact with his accuser and that he provide fingerprints and a DNA sample. In addition to second-degree rape, he is charged with giving alcohol to a person under the age of 21 years of age. He will be represented in court by defense attorney Daniel Talbert. District Attorney Ted Bell will prosecute on behalf of the state. Judge Alan Thornburg of Buncombe County is presiding over the trial term, which will end October the 12th. The term began Monday with administrative matters. Well, flash flooding in the Hickory Nut Gorge area damaged some areas in the town of Lake Lure Saturday night and early Sunday morning, and it's what weather officials describe as, quote, somewhat rare isolated torrential rainfall. Some parts of the area, including Lake Lure, Chimney Rock, and portions of Buncombe and McDowell counties, including Old Fort, received 5 inches of rain, while some received 6 to 7 inches. The Gateway Bridge at Rumbling Bald at Lake Lure was severely damaged, and the Trout Stream overflowed its banks and deposited silt and debris onto the Results Bald Mountain Golf Course. Bald Mountain Golf Course is closed, but the resort's other course, Apple Valley, is open. Now, while cleanup and rebuilding are underway, Gateway Drive from the golf course to Mountains Boulevard and the North Shore Beach are closed temporarily. Chimney Rock Mayor Peter O'Leary said Chimney Rock Village had plenty of rain, but no damage to any streets or public facilities. Jeffrey Taylor, meteorologist with the Greenville-Spartanburg National Weather Service office, said conditions were perfect for that flash flood event. According to the National Weather Service, he said, now it's somewhat rare, but events like this do occur. There was an upslope flow of air from the southeast. The atmosphere was ready, pretty saturated, and it just kept generating heavy rain. Lake Lure officials stated that lake levels were closely monitored at the dam and adjustments were made to prevent flooding downstream. The generator ran overnight and the floodgates were adjusted to accommodate the increased water. Removal of storm debris is ongoing. If that area had been flat with no mountains, the flash flooding would not have occurred. Mudslides were reported in some parts of Buncombe County during the flash flood. We've got more news coming up. We've also had that sheriff's report with Sheriff Chris Francis, and that's right after this.
Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care. Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Ken Paulman, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherford. Again, that's 287-3338.
With that Sheriff's Report, here's Sheriff Chris Francis.
Lou, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 184 calls for service. There have been 15 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 233. Among those arrests, Annette Marie Blackwell, 39-year-old female from Edmond, South Carolina, was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor larceny and received a written promise to appear. Candace Alyssa Shea, 22-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply and received a $432.50 cash bond. Christopher Fred Hutchins, a 56-year-old male of Boston, was charged with possession of Schedule 2 and 2 counts of domestic violence protective order. He received a $5,000 bond for the methamphetamine, but will see a district court judge for the domestic violence protective order violations. Joseph Bradford Walker, 29-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with driving while license revoked and failure to comply, received a $1,000 bond. Denise Ronald Shearer, 33-year-old male from Jacksonville, Florida, was charged with 2 counts of domestic violence protective order, harassing phone calls and communicating threats, received a $500 bond, and will also see a judge for domestic violence protective order violations. Among the incidents, we had a break-in and entering in larceny on Maple Creek Road in Rutherford. An Ariens Orange 42-inch lawnmower was taken, as well as a Milwaukee leaf blower and a Milwaukee weed eater. Both of those were red in color. We had a break-in and entering larceny 3rd Street in Mooresboro, where assorted meats and other frozen items were taken from a freezer. We had a break-in and entering Hubway Road in Rutherford, where someone broke into the basement window. Doesn't appear to be anything missing at this time. We had a larceny of a motor vehicle reported from Piney Mountain Church Road in Ellenboro. It's a 2008 red Dodge Caliber, valued at $8,000. The same was found wrecked on Old Business 74 yesterday morning. We had an illegal dumping on Cox Road, where someone had dumped construction materials behind an abandoned residence in that incident. And Lou, that's what we had to report today.
You can hear that sheriff's report again this afternoon as part of the afternoon call-around report with Tom Green just after 5:08. Well, the search continues for a missing Cleves woman who was last seen hiking in the Great Smoky Mountains with her daughter on last Tuesday, according to officials with the National Park Service. Mitzi Susan Clements, 53, was last seen hiking in the Klingman's Dome area of the park when she disappeared. She was hiking with her daughter on the Forney Ridge Trail near Andrews Bald when the two got separated. Now the search has increased to 125 people working 16-hour days. The case is considered unusual because most searches are resolved in a day, that according to the national park officials. Trained searchers and logistical support teams are working in shifts to cover the rugged terrain. More than 30 state and local agencies are assisting the national park in this search. They anticipate even more volunteers when they resume today. Cincinnati City Councilman P.G. Sittenfield said Clements works for the Metropolitan Sewer District. He said the city manager is staying in touch with Clements' family. Her family did not want to speak with WLWT in an interview, but said she is a great mother to her 3 children. She's described as a white female with light brown hair and blue eyes. She's 5'6", weighs 125 pounds, that according to park rangers, and was last seen wearing a green zip-up sweater, black workout pants over black leggings, a clear rain poncho, and white tennis shoes. Sports from the North Carolina News Network, that's coming up next.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. Jansen strikes out Cora. And for the 6th consecutive season, the Dodgers are the best in the West.
Charlie Steiner with the call on the Dodgers radio network as L.A. earned a 5-2 win over Colorado in their one-game playoff to decide the NL West championship. Dodgers first baseman Max Muncy hit a 2-run homer and scored twice. He says the greatest perk to winning the division and avoiding the wild card game is the time off.
It's really huge. It's a lot of baseball and a lot of travel in a short amount of time. Just being able to have a day or two off to recharge, get ready for Atlanta, one of the biggest things in the world.
LA will take on Atlanta in the National League Division Series. That starts on Thursday. Milwaukee beat the Cubs 3-1 in their one-game playoff to decide the NL Central. The Cubs and the Rockies will square off tomorrow in the National League wildcard match. The winner will move on to play the Brewers, who have home field throughout the National League playoffs. Patrick Mahomes passed for 304 yards as the Kansas City Chiefs scored twice in the final 6.5 minutes to come back and beat the Broncos in Denver 27-23. Broncos safety Darian Stewart.
We were ready. This is a divisional game, and so we had our mindset was right all week at work. Coach's mindset was right. Man, we just fell short. We had them by 10.2 score. We got to finish that.
Eric Reed says he's not made up his mind on how he'll protest racial injustices in the future, and that he's not dropping his collusion grievance against the NFL. Reed signed a one-year contract with the Carolina Panthers last week, and in his first public comments since rejoining the league, Reed said on Monday that he's still considering other ways of protesting besides kneeling during the national anthem. The former Pro Bowl safety did not elaborate on his plans. Reed played for the San Francisco 49ers. He was part of the Colin Kaepernick protests. That's a look at sports. I'm Josh Zack.
What's the best-selling small tractor in America? Kubota's BX Series Compact. Now get a BX 1880 for as low as $99 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to gokubota.com for more information.
Hey Hoops fans, basketball season is almost here and the 2018 ACC Basketball Preview Magazine is available for pre-order right now at ACCSports.com. Get the scoop on all the teams before the season starts with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Pre-order your copy today by going to ACCSports.com and clicking on the pre-order banner.
Kubota's L2501 DT packs powerful performance in one easy-to-operate compact tractor. Now get payments as low as $135 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to gokubota.com for more information.
Jameis Winston got his old job back and will be the Buccaneers' starting QB for the next game, October 14th against the Sunday. After serving a 3-game suspension for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy, he replaced Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was ineffective in Sunday's loss at Chicago after becoming the first player in league history to throw more than 400 yards in 3 consecutive games. Jaguars coach Doug Marrone says there's no timetable for the return of top running back Leonard Fournette, who re-injured his right hamstring in Sunday's 31-12 victory over the Jets. Fournette missed 2.5 games after injuring the hamstring in the season opener. Forward Scott Hartnell announced his retirement after 17 seasons in the NHL. He's got 327 goals and 707 points in 1,249 games in his career for the Predators, Flyers, and Blue Jackets. Josh Zack, NCN Sports.
100.9 FM, 590 AM, Rutherfordton. I'm Lou Gillum. Your forecast from beautiful downtown Whiteside Road. Partly cloudy today, highs around 85 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 65. Partly cloudy tomorrow, highs around 85. Overnight lows around 65. Thursday, sunshine, highs around 85. Overnight lows around 65. And Friday, highs around 85 degrees. Beautiful sunny skies. And right now, 64 degrees and cloudy skies, downtown beautiful Whiteside Road, 29 minutes past 8 o'clock. We were hoping that someone from the commissioners would be here to do the commissioners report this morning. We'll just keep watching out for them, and hopefully they'll show up in just a few minutes, and we can get the commission report from last night. Well, continuing on with news, a man from New York died while swimming at the Outer Banks on Monday. A 911 call went out for 2 swimmers in distress off Cape Hatteras National Seashore just after 10 a.m. A friend of the 63-year-old Ballsville, New York man tried to give him CPR, that according to emergency personnel who were there, but their efforts were not successful. The man's death is the 5th swimming-related death off Cape Hatteras National Seashore this year, that according to the release. The man was not identified as of late yesterday evening. He was not using a flotation device. The National Seashore said there has been a high risk of rip currents the last few days. Officials did not say if the man had been caught in a rip current. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration defines a high risk of rip currents as wind and or wave conditions support dangerous rip currents. Rip currents are life-threatening to anyone entering the surf. Cape Hatteras National Seashore extends our condolences to his family and friends during this very difficult time, that according to David Halleck, National Parks of Eastern North Carolina Superintendent. According to Dare County, there have been 4 other deaths in that area. Dare County uses the flag system to warn swimmers about ocean conditions at the National Seashore. The founder of a North Carolina business was sentenced to 10 years in prison on fraud charges yesterday. That according to a news release from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Robert Boston, 54, of Hickory, and franchise owners spend a substantial amount of money to keep his son, Justin, to become a NASCAR driver. That according to the news release. He claimed that he spent $5 million per year so Justin can play race driver. That according to evidence presented at the trial. Justin Boston drove in the Camping World Truck Series in a truck emblazoned with the logo of his dad's company. On Monday, a federal judge found that Robert Boston owes more than $27 million to victims after he was found guilty of wire fraud, securities fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy in December. That according to a news release. Boston found Sloop, an electrical waste recycling firm, in 2012 and concealed a history of bankruptcy and issues with past fraud from franchise owners and investors. That according to the news release. Boston said co-owner Robert LaBarge spent millions of dollars of the company's money on personal purchases, including real estate, a private plane, cars. Also, he was looking into buying a private island. That according to the release. LaBarge pled guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud in November and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. We'll have that commissioner's report after this.
Get fit for life at Lifestyle Wellness and Spa, Rutherford County's largest and longest established fitness facility. Clean family atmosphere for families and individuals who care about their good health. Now hear this good news. Join today for $1 with no contract and get started. Lifestyle Wellness and Spa is open 7 days a week and something for everybody. Get started now and be ready for the holidays with a toned up body, more energy, and a healthier outlook on life. Call 248-2947 and ask about the dollar sign up. Only at Rutherford County's favorite place to get fit. Lifestyle Wellness and Spa in the Rockwood Plaza, 247 Oak Street Extension, Forest City. Come on by and look around and you too will be impressed.
Enjoy the taste of the Orient at the Dragon Palace. Enjoy a fine dining experience with an all-day buffet loaded with delicious chicken, pork, beef, seafood, fried rice, also a sushi and a hibachi bar with made-to-order entrees. Dine in or take out. Call 287-5707. Open 7 days a week. They offer a nice private party room for work events or a family gathering. The Dragon Palace has been voted 3 years in a row the best Chinese food in Rutherford County. Stop in today for a delicious meal and superb service. That's the Dragon Palace, Chinese cuisine at its best, in the White Oak Plaza Shopping Center in Spindale.
When is the best time to purchase a tractor or farm equipment? Right now is the perfect time to own a new Mahindra compact or utility tractor. Stop in soon to East Rutherford Equipment and you'll find a quality piece of equipment exclusively by Mahindra. Mahindra offers a heavier lift capacity with stronger parts for the toughest of jobs. The boys at East Rutherford Equipment know their business and will help you purchase the right farm equipment to fit your needs. That's East Rutherford Equipment at the corner of Ellenboro, Henrietta Road, and Webb Church Road in Ellenboro. Or call 453-0090. Cultivate your dreams with a Mahindra tractor from East Rutherford Equipment.
.24 before 9 o'clock, and we do have that commission report. And with us this morning is Commissioner Brian King. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. You're bright and pink. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead. What you got to report this morning? And please take your time because I know you got a lot to report, and I'm tired.
Well, we've been busy at the middle of the day, but okay. So we had our meeting last night. October 1st was our Monday meeting of the Board of Commissioners. And, everyone kept saying, well, this is going to be a short agenda. Well, it looks short on paper, but the meeting lasted just about an hour and 10 minutes. But we had a lot to talk about. The first item on our agenda, of course, was the agenda approval after the pledge, and everything was approved. We did have public comments. We've had a few people come up and speak. We had a reminder of the salute to the veterans, which is going to happen on November 2nd at 9:30 a.m., so we'll be looking for that. We did have citizens' concerns about, we had Ms. Flack came and spoke about the water, her water issue that she's been speaking to the different governing bodies about. We then went into, after public comments, we went into the consent agenda, and the consent agenda is usually just housekeeping, and so we had our minutes from previous meetings and tax refunds and releases. So this is common housekeeping items that nothing was added or deleted, and that was approved. The meeting went into next was an announcement of a vacancy, the Rutherford County Tourism Development Authority. We have a vacancy on the board. Actually, the Tourism Development Authority, they are a governing body, they do have a vacancy. Those board appointments are made by the county commissioners, and so we advertised that for the first time last night. So if you're a citizen that is interested, please reach out to the clerk. The clerk of the board, not the clerk of the court system, Hazel, and we'll be glad to get you the information you need for that. We then went into commissioner reports, and we had a really interesting report after that. We had the North Carolina Department of Transportation came and spoke to us. Mr. Stephen Sparks, he's an NCDOT Division 13 Corridor Development Engineer, provided a great deal of information on how they prioritize and do the programming and the process of selecting roads and roadways throughout this entire state of North Carolina. And a lot of discussion there happened, and we appreciate him coming and sharing this method that's been migrating to the method they have now. We went back, he showed a picture of a smoke-filled room where people had images from 50 years ago to now where they're using data and facts and input from local, regional, and state sources. There was quite a bit of discussion about rural counties such as ours, how our counties, seems that rural counties do not weigh as heavy as the metro counties, mainly because of population. And the discussion was more on instead of fairness, but equitable. We went with the equitable roads that our metro and larger counties have, larger cities have, and it was a very positive information, and he promised to bring that information back. We had each commissioner that was had some really good insights and input on that, which actually you say, well, it's going to be a short meeting. It was an informative meeting, and so it's not time, it's not what's important. What's important is how much business we get done. And we had commissioners ask about certain roads. Commissioner Holland spoke about a road that was actually on the list to be repaired that fell off, and questions and discussions on how do rural counties. How can we keep projects for rural counties to continue, such as 221? And so that was very informative. The slides presentation that was presented to us is on our website with our agenda, and so we really appreciate Stephen Sparks from the NCDOT coming to us, helping engage with us, and providing information and resources. So that was really a good part of our meeting. I really appreciate that. The next part of our meeting was Ms. Karen Caldwell. She was the Regional Tobacco Control Manager of the Division of Public Health, Tobacco Prevention, and the Control Branch of the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. She presented information regarding tobacco use, tobacco prevention, and what other counties and what other towns and cities are doing throughout the state to help citizens not smoke. Basically, and the dangers of smoking. And she presented actually other counties that put in rules like no smoking in county buildings, no smoking in and county vehicles and the like. So she presented her information on the dangers of smoking, and we appreciate the public service announcement that she brought to us at that meeting. We went into new business. The new business after that was at Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. They recommended transfer equipment. There's a list of equipment that the Juvenile Crime Prevention Committee asked us to reallocate, and that discussion was made and happened last night. And then we went to the meeting dates for the County Board of Commissioners for 2019. And, our meetings generally start on the first Monday of every month, and that's for the calendar that we selected pretty much. So that was approved last night. That will go on our website as well for meetings for 2019. I cannot believe we're saying that now. The schedule of values adoption was next. The Department of Revenue came, and this is the schedule of values, standards, and rules that actually has been up for public view for quite a period of time now. We're having a reval that we're in the middle of, but those were officially adopted last night. And after that, we adjourned and went home.
Normally, how long does your meetings last?
A true meeting should last an hour.
What's been your longest?
Our longest has been 2 hours to 2.5 hours, and that's generally when we have and so you kind of judge it when you see PowerPoint presentations. Add a minute and a half to each slide, but then when you have public comment, sometimes when you have a lot of public comment, it adds to the meeting. And but through the board training that I've been through, and a good business meeting the business portion of the meeting should not last more than an hour, mainly because people get fatigued. Yeah.
If someone has something they want to bring up to the county commissioners, do they have to get put on the list first or can they just show up for the meeting and raise their hand and be? So we ask. So there's several ways of reaching the county commissioners. One is to reach out to the clerk and ask if you can meet with the commissioner, and they'll meet you. Each one of the commissioners will meet a citizen or business, anyone concerned one-on-one throughout the month. We just schedule a mutually convenient time to do that. Another way is if you want to speak to the board as a whole. Let me back up. We cannot meet as a quorum. So in other words, if you and I were going to meet, we can, but I can't have 2 more commissioners with me because that'll be a quorum, and that's illegal. That's open meeting laws do not require us. Anytime we have a quorum, which the majority of the board together, it has to be in a public place, and it has to be a public meeting. It cannot be private. But we can meet one-on-one, and which happens quite a bit if you have a concern, which is like one of the things Commissioner Holland brought up to the DOT engineer. He had a citizen call him and had a concern about a roadway, and so he had the information, and then Commissioner Holland took it to the DOT because hey, we have a citizen that needs help on this. So that's one way. But if you want to speak to the board, which we welcome that, I mean that's part of our duties as citizens and our civic duties, is to come to the meeting prior to our start time, at least 20 minutes before. Come to the table, and there's a sheet to fill out that just gets your name. And we generally ask for your name and address, and so we can identify you. And then one of the members of our team will call each person up during public comment period who has signed up in advance. We do not raise hands. We do not address the audience because that's poor form as an audience from the board. You don't engage in that manner because it is a business meeting between the board members. But we do welcome public comment. It does give you an insight that you may or may not be aware of, and we do welcome our citizens reaching out to us throughout the month as well, especially if you want a few more times or have some details that you want to discuss, because we all live in a vacuum. We all if you have your group of friends and you get your group of associates, but there's so many citizens in this county, so many things happening. So we do welcome our citizens reaching out to us and providing us with insight that we may or may not be aware of. So did I answer your question? That answered the question. Okay. Somebody asked me that question, and I said, I don't know, but if I get that chance, I'll get you an answer.
Okay, all right.
Well, that's Brian King with the Commission Report, and I believe tomorrow morning we'll have the school board report.
Yes.
The school board meets tonight.
Yes, they do. Well, yes, they do. Right
yes,
after us.
So we'll have someone here with that. So we've got more news coming up, and coming up at 5 before the hour, news from the North Carolina News Network, ABC News, and we'll be right back. With today's hurry-up and undependable world, you need an insurance agency that will give you excellent service. Maxwell B. Hamrick Agency delivers the security and service that you're looking for. You'll always be in good hands with Hamrick Insurance. They offer auto, business, homeowners, health, and life. They are an independent agency with 3 locations to conveniently serve you: Main Street in Boiling Springs, Lafayette Street in Shelby, and Huntley Street in Spindale. Call Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance today at 286-2384.
Time changes everything. For me, becoming a single father of 2 young kids, it changed my ability to use my timeshare. The frustration of not being able to use it was compounded by annual maintenance fees that nearly tripled over a 3-year period. I was desperate to get out. After searching online for sell my timeshare or get out of my timeshare, it just looked like one scam after another. I needed a real, permanent, and legitimate way to get out of this for good. I'm Brandon Reed, the founder of Timeshare Exit Team. We will get you out of the timeshare you can't use or can't afford anymore. We get people out safely, legally, and permanently. We are more successful because we have more solutions. Schedule a free consultation to review your ownership situation and find the best strategy for you. If we can't get you out, we will give you a full refund. Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
Call 800-905-4268. That's 800-905-4268. Call 800-905-4268.
Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Coming up on 11 minutes before 9 o'clock, well, the U.S. flag captured on a live camera as it was being torn to shreds by Hurricane Florence has brought $10,900 at auction. News outlets report viewers watched the flag flying on the Frying Pan Tower get ripped apart as the storm reached the North Carolina coast last month. eBay Incorporated said 25 people bid 96 times for the flag. It's not known who made the winning bid. Proceeds will go to the American Red Cross and its relief efforts. Richard Neal bought Frying Pan Tower in 2010 after the former Coast Guard lighthouse was deemed obsolete due to GPS navigation. Neal put the tower up for sale in May but retained majority control of the site, which is now a bed and breakfast operated by Neal and his partners. Well, Kings Mountain Police Chief Jerry Tessnier died yesterday morning. The 60-year-old was out on leave for recent knee surgery. His death was unexpected to everyone in the community, that according to City Manager Marilyn Sellers. Mayor Scott Nessler saw Tessnier last week and surprised him with lunch. Tessnier battled health issues for several years, but most recently, surgery didn't cause him much concern. That according to Nessler, he said that the two knew each other for decades. Tessnier started with the department in 1992, worked his way through the ranks, becoming Sergeant 98, Captain of Patrol in 2002, then Assistant Chief last year. 25 years later, Nessler is also there to swear him in as Chief. Tessnier took over the role more than a year ago from longtime Kings Mountain Chief Melvin Proctor. Well, with the accuser in Kevin Olson's rape trial sitting a few feet away, her former roommate recounted what her then best friend had shared a few hours before the alleged attack. She told me that she had been beaten, that according to Haley Reynolds. The former UNC Charlotte student then corroborated much of the accuser's testimony, how on the morning of February the 19th, 2017, a drunken Olson had tried to hang himself in the bathroom of his off-campus home with the cord of a cell phone charger, how his bedroom... In his bedroom, his despondence had quickly turned to fury. He started to beat his then-girlfriend, blackening her eye, bruising her arms and stomach, and how he demanded sex. Reynolds then testified that her roommate told her that while she was on top of Olson holding her injured eye, her boyfriend erupted again, telling her that, quote, he could have sex with her while she was crying. Across the room, Olson and his family watched the episode without any sign of emotion. After about 20 minutes, the woman returned. Olson, 23, a former UNCC quarterback, and the younger brother of Panthers tight end Greg Olson, is charged with 3 counts of rape, along with other charges in what police said prosecutors say was the beating and sexual assault of his girlfriend. If convicted by the 9 men and 3 women of the jury, Olson faces up to 10 years in prison of each count of rape. His attorneys, his father-daughter defense team of George and Bree Lorme, say their client is not guilty. They have portrayed the accuser, now 25, as a cloying girlfriend desperate to stay with Olson, who turned vindictive when Olson cheated on her and their relationship frayed. On Thursday, the defense again homed in on an apparent inconsistencies in some of the details the accuser had given to friends, police, and campus investigators and her family doctor. After the prosecutors, Assistant District Attorneys Kristen Northup and Jane Honeycutt rested their case, George Lauren asked the judge to throw out the charges. He argued that there was no proof that violence had occurred during the sex, a requirement of rape, citing the accuser's injuries and earlier testimony that she was too terrified of the 6'3", 215-pound Olson to resist his demands. Honeycutt dismissed Lauren's argument as, quote, ludicrous. Throughout the testimony in the case, highly revealed intimate details, so has some of the evidence. On Wednesday, photos of the accuser's sexual assault exam were shown to the jury. The courtroom monitors, normally used to display visual evidence, were either turned off or discreetly turned away from the public. Partly cloudy today, highs warming around 82 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 60. Partly cloudy tomorrow, looking for highs warming around 85 degrees. And in other news this morning, Greer police officers are searching for a 19-year-old who went missing Sunday night. That, according to a Facebook post from the department, Alden Wyndham of the Gap Creek Road area in Greer left home without money or his phone and was last seen wearing a plaid shirt, gray hoodie, and blue jeans. That, according to the Facebook post. He's about 5'10", thin, and light brown hair. Wyndham has a medical history that has heightened concern for his well-being. That, according to the post. Police are asking anyone with information on Wyndham's whereabouts to call 864-569-1137. Well, the driver of a van who died in a single-vehicle wreck yesterday afternoon on New Cut Road near Mount Zion has been identified as 43-year-old Spartanburg man. Gregory Wayne Shrimshire of Springwater Drive was pronounced dead. That, according to Spartanburg coroner Rusty Clevenger. Clevenger said his office and the South Carolina Highway Patrol are investigating. Also responding to the wreck was North Spartanburg Fire Department. Coming up on 5 minutes before 9 o'clock, news from the North Carolina News Network is next.
NCN News, I'm Tony Rixby. The FBI is working under a lot of pressure in their investigation of Supreme Court nominee Jeff Kavanaugh. Jeff Begays is tracking the investigation.
This is an inquiry and not an investigation or criminal probe. The FBI cannot compel anyone to talk to them, and these witnesses have no obligation to cooperate. And at its conclusion, the FBI will present summaries of the interviews and corroborating materials to the White House. But of course, they're not going to come up with any conclusions. In this case, the White House is the client, and they are delivering this background check product to the client.
State lawmakers meet today for a special session on disaster relief for Hurricane Florence. With 28 of North Carolina's 100 counties under federal disaster declaration, the needs will be extensive. Governor Roy Cooper told NCN that the need is real.
To have seen homes and businesses and farms and churches underwater, you think about the people that each one of them represent, and you know that the despair that they feel, but it also makes me very determined to help.
The session expected to last one day, with lawmakers likely to return next week to consider requests from state agencies. After Florence, there's plenty of debris along the side of the road in Morehead City and much of eastern North Carolina. Plenty of other debris in other places, too, like the water. It can cause serious harm to your boat. J.T. Bride is the service manager for US 70 West Marina, telling WCTI he's seen plenty of debris between Morehead City and Atlantic Beach.
Just a lot of debris, all these docks that broke loose from Pine Knoll Shores, Salter Path, Morehead, Beaufort, all that debris is out there and floating about that far under the water, it seems.
Bride says if you're on the water, take it slow, and if you spot something, pick it up. You're listening to NCN News.
Fire Prevention Week is October 7th through the 13th, and you need to know how to prevent fires. This year, more than 100 people in North Carolina have died in fires. Many of those could have been prevented if they had followed 3 simple steps. Look, listen, and learn. Look for places in your home where a fire can start. Listen for the sound of the smoke alarm and know what to do when you hear it. Learn how to make a home escape plan. Remember, be aware, fires can happen anywhere. So this Fire Prevention Week, the North Carolina Department of Insurance encourages you to look, listen, and learn. Our friends and neighbors need your help. Nearly 20% of our state's population has been affected by the flooding and powerful winds brought on by Hurricane Florence, and the damage is still mounting. The recovery effort will take time and resources are needed. If you were fortunate to miss major damage, you can help. The Red Cross, Salvation Army, and other organizations have already mobilized and need your support. Go to redcross.org or salvationarmyusa.org. Thank you. Together, we can rebuild lives.
With the midterm elections just 35 days away, President Trump making the pitch to keep the GOP the majority party in Congress. Jackie Quinn reports.
President Trump campaigns this evening for Republican candidates in South Haven, Mississippi. Yesterday, it was Tennessee, where he blasted Democrats for trying to stall his agenda, including the nomination of Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
Democrats are willing to do anything and to hurt anyone to get their way.
He says he needs a wider GOP majority in Congress for his agenda to go forward.
Jobless claims are at a 50-year low, and the stock market is at an all-time high.
The president also took a jab at former Vice President Joe Biden, who is said to be contemplating a run in 2020. I'm Jackie Quinn.
A youth motivational speaker facing rape and sex offense charges in 2 separate cases. 51-year-old Winslow Thornton of Holly Springs behind bars in Raleigh. His attorney, Patrick Roberts, tells WTBD he's asking people to remain fair-minded.
My client's prepared to defend himself vigorously in this matter.
Parts of the southwestern U.S. bracing for possible flash flooding from Tropical Depression Rosa. Carter Evans is in Goodyear, Arizona.
In Tucson on Monday, about 100 miles south of here, the rain flooded streets, and it's not just the rain. Forecasters say winds could be at tropical storm levels. Meanwhile, government officials in Mexico are investigating reports that a man was swept to his death in these floodwaters in Sonora in the wake of Tropical Storm Rosa. Now, the rain is expected to last through Wednesday, possibly even into Thursday here in the Phoenix area. In the next 24 hours, they're expected to get more rain than they've had in the last 2 months.
A new book will be out today. It's from Stormy Daniels about her alleged affair with President Trump back in 2006.
WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. About 350,000 workers at Amazon are in line for a raise. The company announcing today everyone there will make at least $15 an hour.
With the jobless rate hovering around 4% nationwide, employers realize they have to offer something special to attract new workers. At online retailer Amazon,
we evaluated the federal minimum wage at $7.25. We think it's too low,
says Amazon Senior VP of Worldwide Operations Dave Clark.
We looked at what other companies have done, and we said $15 is the place we want to be.
And that's where Amazon is setting the minimum hourly pay for all of its workers, starting on November 1st. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Several people are hurt after a truck hit protesters this morning in Michigan who were calling for a $15 an hour wage.
Multiple people hurt when a maroon pickup truck hit the crowd of protesters who were demonstrating outside of a Flint McDonald's. About 100 protesters were calling for a $15 minimum wage and the right to form unions. Michigan Democratic gubernatorial candidate Gretchen Whitmer was scheduled to join the group. Emergency responders are at the scene.
That's ABC's Ryan Burrow. Over 1,200 people are now confirmed dead in Indonesia after last week's earthquake and tsunami. The FBI investigation into sex assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is moving ahead with more interviews.
We're told the FBI has not reached out to Christine Blasey Ford, but investigators have talked to 3 people she said were at the party where Brett Kavanaugh allegedly assaulted her. They've also talked to another accuser, Deborah Ramirez, who said Kavanaugh exposed himself to her. Before the New Yorker published her account, Kavanaugh may have reached out to classmates to discuss her claim. The FBI now has a series of text messages suggesting Kavanaugh contacted at least one classmate for support. The texts also suggest a classmate saw Ramirez act uncomfortable around Kavanaugh at a 1997 wedding. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Canadian scientist Donna Strickland is sharing this year's Nobel Prize in Physics. She is the 3rd woman ever to win the award. You're listening to ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? You feel like there is no way out? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Get off the debt treadmill and stop the harassment. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Call now at 866-844-7344 for free information. For about 10 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Get off the endless cycle without having to declare bankruptcy. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
There's a new push today to turn a cruise ship off the coast of Maine into a giant homeless shelter.
Ken Capron wants to buy an old cruise ship docked in Maine's Portland Harbor, creating a floating homeless shelter and affordable housing.
They all need job skills training, so we would that on board.
Capron says 5 decks will each have 100 housing.